Yeah, up to you.
Okay.
Okay, can we just, is it okay if we just start? If not, we're gonna, okay, yeah, no, Sakura. Oh, okay. Thanks, Safia. If I record, it's just mean that I'll it's just like talking to a mirror,
Alright.
playing with you guys. Ilman mana Ilman?
Ya ada.
Pergi Sebanyak ke Ilman?
Selangor tutup ada. Tidak
Tahu
pergi.
pun. Or surprise, some of you guys said, oh pergi Sebanyak. Mana dia pergi
Ada
Sebanyak?
ada yang dari
Perlis.
Ada
I
kot,
see. Siapa from Pahang, Perlis and what's the other one? Terengganu? Kelantan.
Israel is from Perlis, I think.
Oh, okay, if nanti we discuss lah, it's fine. I mean, I can record it. I mean, some of you guys can record it. Hold on, yeah, hold on. Let's share screens. Okay, y'all can see, right? All right. I think last time we stopped here. All right, let's just continue lah. It's gonna be a bit short lecture today. Okay. All right, can I start? Is it okay? Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so today I did explain about these. Okay, this one. So today we're gonna discuss more about DNA structures, how DNA is being made of. So now we continue into this. So when anyone, if you see in a movie or someone talk about genomes is the whole of your genetic codings, like everything, within a single cell. That's called genomes. It is encoded or non-encoded. Okay, so genomes are being made of a combination of all the chromosomes if that is available. Bear in mind, not all organisms or microorganisms or food whatsoever, they all have 23 chromosomes. Does not mean necessary. We are only the one that have normal 23 chromosomes. Okay, so our chromosome is actually about 3.5 times 10 to the power of 9 base. One base is 80. That's one base. Okay, 3.5 times to the power of 9 is about, I think, trillions. On top of my head, 100 trillions, millions, billions, yeah, trillions. Okay, trillions of bases over that is spread over 23 chromosomes. That is a lot of chromosomes. That's why it's being stretched to about 2 meters. Yeah, very, very long one. However, E. coli consists of single chromosome. Dia satu. Tapi dia punya base pair dia is 4 times 10 to the power 6. It's about 10 millions, I think. 100 millions, I don't know, maybe close to that. Yeah. So a gene is section of chromosomal DNA. Can't see, sorry. Chromosomal DNA that contains the information to make a specific polypeptide from specific RNA. So gene, okay, gene is a small section within your chromosome. Okay. And then gene ni is very small. It only encodes for specific polypeptide. Okay, I think we have discussed about this. One gene does not mean necessarily it's one protein or one enzyme or one polypeptide. It can be part of gene. So it can be part of protein or it can be multiple protein polypeptide. So does not mean one gene is one protein. No, it's more than that. Okay, is it partially or fully or poly? Okay, so gene, small one, gene make up chromosomes, chromosome make up genomes. Okay, clear on that one. Okay, so this is central dogma. So DNA is the one actually direct the synthesis of DNA. They're the one that store all the information, and then it's being encoded or being translated into it's being encoded towards RNA into much what I call that, more understandable form. Okay, so the genome or DNA is architect's set master of drawings. Okay, so if you want to build a house, all right, your architects have to draw a complete drawings that define the house, that defines the door, which rooms, toilets, roof, the base fundamental, scaffolding, everything. They're the one that draw all these things, and then these drawings are being copied into blueprints, whereby all this engineer, okay, which is your RNA lah, as your RNA is engineer, they are the ones that make the door. Some of it make the door, some of it make some wall, Some will make the roof, fundamental, the window and everything. So engineers are the one that built this thing. Okay, your RNA is just a set of instructions, understood instructions. Engineers are the one translating these instructions into your physical appearance of the house. So that makes sense, yeah? Okay, so prokaryotes. Prokaryotes is simple bacteria. Okay, simple bacteria, which is the DNA of prokaryote is circular. Hold on, yeah, give me a minute. Sorry, my wife called me for something, I don't know why. All right, DNA is circular. DNA not usually associated with protein on its own. All right, some have plasmids. Okay, small circular molecules outside of the main G on in DNA. Okay, so in prokaryotes, it's always in circular form. There's no associated with protein on its own. Some bacteria, it has plasmids. You know what's plasmids? Is it familiar to you guys, or is it the first time you hear plasmids? Have you heard plasmids before? No idea? Anyone know what is plasmids? Yeah, it's a small circular outside DNA. It's not a part of DNA, yeah? In bacteria, you have your own DNA, which is circular. The other one is just smaller parts of, like similar to DNA, but it's much, much more smaller. Much, much more. Have you heard about plasmids? What's the function of plasmids? No? Any idea?
It's contained in insulin, production of insulin.
That one is for GMO. Yeah, that's the idea. That's one of sort of the application that scientists or humans or scientists have discovered the beyond application of plasmids. But what's the main of function of plasmids? Any idea in bacteria? Not all, yeah. Not all prokaryotes have plasmids, yeah. Some of it. Any idea?
I googled and it said like
the survival of an organism.
So I got two answers. Ilman is another one. Siapa lagi seorang jawab tu? Can you go first? I can't see who's the one that's talking at the moment. Yeah, go ahead. Siapa tadi?
They may contain genes that enhance the survival of an organism.
All right, that's a good start. Ilman, what do you say?
I googled and it said like it is used in genetic engineering to amplify or produce many copies of genes.
That is the applications after they discovered the function of plasmids. After they found there's plasmid, that's the application whereby they use in genetic modification. What the one said just now is to increase the survival of a certain microbes. What does it mean? Okay,
So
let me tell you. Let me just give you a certain situation for humans. Yeah, for humans, let's say I campak all of you guys in a jungle. How many of you? 40? I campak you guys 40, right? And I bet not all of you will survive 7 days without food. Yeah, that I provided food lah. I mean, some of you guys have to like scavenge, you have to hunt your own, make your own blaze, make on your fire. The rest the one that don't have the ability to hunt, that don't have the ability to make fire or don't have the ability to survive, they will die definitely. It's not a good example, but it's just bear with me. They will definitely die. So let's say maybe, okay, some of you guys, Ilman, Rachel, who else is going to survive? Volunteers, okay, some of you guys will survive. Okay, maybe 2 of you survive. The rest kaput, die. So let's say another batch come in, right? So Rachel and Ilman survive. And you tell them, okay, this is how you survive. You tell them, right? You tell them based on your experience, correct? You teach them. For bacteria, they don't communicate. They don't speak to each other. So how do you want to others how they want to communicate to others, they have survived. They have a set example of plasmid that store information within that plasmid, because plasmid is small, DNA is big. DNA tak boleh keluar from the microbe just like that. But on the other hand, plasmid is small. They can go through the pore of the microbe cell wall, transfer like that. So that's how they transfer, they make copies of the plasmid, they transfer the information from themselves to other neighboring microbes. So that's how they communicate. Okay, I know India plasmid, they know, okay, I know how to survive in the jungle. Okay, let me make a copy of this, give it to you. That's how plasmid works. Faham? Clear? That's the main function of plasmid. But later on, scientists discover, oh, because plasmid is very small, they can just take it out without the cells dying because it's not essential. Yeah, they still survive, but it's not essential for them to survive. With or without, with it survive better, without it can still survive because in the controlled lab environment, okay? So they take out the plasmid, they insert a certain genes within that to enhance a certain microbe. For example, they make the microbes that have cilia, more cilia or flagella. Okay, insert that gene within that microbe can now swim around. Let's say you want that microbe to have some, let's say they produce a certain enzyme, they can digest a glucose, they can digest a lactose, they can produce gold. So you insert a gene that can produce gold, insert into a microbe, that microbe can turn from a rock to a gold. Katakanlah. If we have discovered that, we already ada kaya dah pun. If. If orang dah discover, if I dah discover, I probably wouldn't teach you guys. I just enjoying my retirement life with all this school, right? So you understand what's the function of plasmids, yeah? It's very interesting. Okay, eukaryotes, okay? 3 locations of DNA, okay? Eukaryotes are higher organisms lah. Humans, plants, animals, certain higher organisms like fungi, mold of yeast, all right? So there are 3 locations for them: nucleus, mitochondria, and chloroplast, okay? 3 part of whereby DNA is contained. Nuclear DNA means the main DNA associated with protein, okay? Nanti we discuss about the histones too. And then, so you ada DNA and then you ada some protein within the DNA. And then organelle, DNA is circular. Organelle tu, yes.
Doctor, sorry to interrupt you, but there's people in the waiting room.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. Right. All right, for those who just recently joined us, Afia record the lectures. Nanti just listen back to the lectures, okay? Okay, this one. So organelle is circular. Organelle to your mitochondria, your chloroplast lah, and then is not associated with proteins. Sounds familiar of this description? The organelle? Does it sound familiar? Organelle DNA is circular and not associated with proteins. What does it remind you of? Any idea? Come on. Come on, guys. Cassandra? Is it sound familiar? Oh my God, I just explained it to you guys.
Like prokaryote.
Yes. Sounds familiar. It's like prokaryote, doesn't it? Look up here. Circular, circular. Not associated with protein, not associated with protein. My goodness. Dah ada jawapan kat sini dah. Itulah tak baca lagi. Alright. So basically, DNA or your organelles is somewhat prokaryotes. It mimics prokaryotes. What does it tell you? What does it give? What does it give? it gives you some hint.
That it was evolved from prokaryotes.
Sorry, come again.
It evolved from prokaryotes.
It evolved from, yeah, it's somewhat related to evolution, but it doesn't evolve from prokaryotes. Kinda, but not really the answer I'm looking for. This is just a theory, okay? Come on. Any idea? Siapa dah set nama ni? Diana. Diana Safura. Kan? Yes. Any idea, Diana?
I think maybe the prokaryote is it comes before eukaryote.
Kinda, but not really the answer looking for. You there? Shasha?
Doctor,
Huh?
there's still 2 people in the waiting room.
Oh my goodness, these people ah.
There's still 2 people in the waiting room.
I don't admit them. Can I give you? I think I give you Rachel. I can make you admin, right? You can make all the.
I'm not sure how you can make me admin.
Alright, that's fine. It's fine. Mariam, forgot about Mariam. Hi, Mariam. Any idea, Mariam?
I answered you just now.
Oh, you did answer. Oh, you're the one that answered. Okay, because sorry, I didn't see your face or answer me. So you said it's
Yeah.
evolution from prokaryote to eukaryotes, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, kinda, not really. Adila?
Yes.
Jawablah yes pula. Answer, Adila, answer. Jawab.
What's the question again?
Oh my God, can someone please kill me?
Because I don't know, my speaker maybe problem. I can.
I think there's a lot of new excuses nowadays. Yeah. Why don't you turn on your? Oh, because I'm using my handphone and my handphone is a bit old, or because my mic doesn't work well. I'm just playing with Adila. Okay. My question is, since organelle kind of looks like prokaryotes, what is its story about? How organelle as prokaryote end up in a eukaryotes? And Mariam and siapa tadi jawab? Mariam and Diana cakap it's because of evolution from prokaryote to eukaryotes. Kinda, but not really the story of the theory. Dengar tak soalan?
Dengar.
Okay. So what's your idea?
I also think it's evolution. Like maybe in prokaryotes is eukaryotes, but eukaryotes is not prokaryotes.
But doesn't it have to do with symbiosis?
Symbiosis. Yes, kinda. That's a good one. The theory actually whereby they need each other to survive, right? Because eukaryotes cannot produce its own energy, so they have to rely on a certain prokaryote ni they can produce, macam prokaryote ni they have the ability to produce its own energy. Nanti Dr. Hafiz will teach you how they produce energy and all that. I'm just teach you the gist of it. So eukaryotes they have the ability to produce their own energy. So the theory was they engulf a prokaryotes they're able to produce energy, any kind of prokaryotes, and then they resides within eukaryotes. So mitochondria have some sort of protection within that eukaryotes. I mean, they feed all this food lah towards mitochondria or towards this prokaryote. Mitochondria is prokaryote lah, and at the same, and in return, this mitochondria give the host eukaryotes energy. So what Iman said, symbiosis. Eukaryotes protect them, mitochondria gives energy. So over time, the evolution become one functional cell. That's the theory of evolution. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. But that was the theory of it. Okay, same as chloroplast. Chloroplast have the ability to do what? What's the ability of chloroplast? What's the function of chloroplast?
Turn carbon dioxide into glucose, right?
So what? To do what?
Make energy, basically.
Yeah. produce energy at the same time, it able to produce food as well from light and inorganic material. Remember? Okay, moving on. So that's the interesting part about eukaryotes, how theory of evolution comes into play. Okay. All right, so here are the DNA structures of normal chromosomes. Okay, especially this is only for eukaryotes. This does not exist in prokaryotes. Okay, so bear in mind. So nucleosome. Nucleosome is a structure whereby your DNA, okay, this is your DNA, yeah, with the base pair, everything, double helix, and secondary structures. And then once it's associated with histones, which is a protein, okay, histone is combined arginine, I think arginine and lysine, okay, amino acids. Beads on a string, okay, it's like a yo-yo. It's like you have a beads, manik or yo-yo or guli, whatever. You wrap around your strings of DNA around it so that they can coil much more compact. All right. So chromatin, okay, is a collection of nucleosomes, okay, like this, and then they become more compact, and then it become like a beads, like rantai macam ni. Okay, like your punya gelang lah. Bits of bits of bits. Within that bits have a DNA, and all these bits are coiling again together that will make up a condensed chromatin that is called chromosome. So imagine how actually your condensed is your chromosome. Very condensed. Okay, that's why the structures, having to know the instructions are very important. The interaction that made all these structures give this kind of structure and give the chromosome structures. Without these interactions, what do you think happened?
It would
All these
unwind.
structures, sorry?
It would unwind and come like.
Unwind. So what happened if unwind?
Doesn't take the shape. I don't know.
Doesn't take the shape is the last thing you should worry about.
It expands.
The cell bursts.
Why the cell burst?
Because of the size increase.
Exactly. Imagine having 2 meter worth of length within your small size of cell. What do you think happened? Burst. Yeah. You imagine 2 meters is very long. It's taller than you. It's taller than me. It's like tall as tall as basketball player. I mean, that's 6'6" basketball player. You imagine all that length is being compact into a very small spaces. All right. So imagine that. Okay. Here we are at the end. So summary. At the end, the sister strand of DNA molecule run in the opposite direction. Sama juga macam highway. It's anti-parallel. One DNA strand 5' to 3' go to the one side. The other one will go to the other side. Okay. They are joined by the bases. Okay. Each base is paired with specific partner. A always with T in DNA. A always with U in RNA. G always with C, okay, for DNA and RNA, both lah. Okay, among between these two, which one has a stronger bond? AAT or G and C?
GC.
GC.
GC. Why GC are stronger?
GC has 3 bonds.
Triple bond.
Huh?
3.
3 bonds, right? Okay, A and C only have 2 bonds. So purine with pyrimidine. What is purine? Which is pyrimidine? Purine apa?
A and G.
Huh? Come
A
on,
and
purine. Which one's purine?
Adenine and
Which one's
guanine.
pyrimidine? Adenine guanine is what?
Purine.
Purines.
Okay. Soalan senang pun tak boleh tahu. Alright, so your purine is A and G. Right? Your pyrimidine is E and C. Okay. So this sister strands or called sister strand or sister ni called opposite strands lah are complementary. means that A only always bind with T, T always bind with A, opposite, okay? G always bind with C, C always bind with T. So when you go this way, it's not identical, meaning A is not A is T is A, right? Nanti when we read, when we start reading for the codings, you understand much better, okay? So these bases are by hydrogen, these are bases are joined by hydrogen bonds, individually weak but collectively strong. Kiranya one hydrogen bond is one of the weakest bond. I'm sure you know from being chemistry students. It's one of the weakest bond in chemistry. It's just simple as that. But if you were to build up all the DNA, the base pair of DNA, imagine human is 3.6 times 10 to the power of negative 9. It's very, very strong. Macam lidi lah. One lidi, alah senang je. Cuba patah lidi satu, lidi penyapu tu banyak. It's very difficult, doesn't it? So that's what I meant. Okay. All right, any questions? Then we can start discussing about the DNA structures and how you relate with food. Any questions? Structures, interactions? Do you have any questions before I start? Before I start to ask questions. Oh, this is going to be fun. No? All right. Then I'll ask questions. So why is it important for you to learn DNA in food study? Kenapa penting? So I'm sure some of you might, kenapa nak belajar benda ni lagi dalam like food biochemistry? I'm sure you have gone through this like 1,000 times. Pergi sekolah, belajar DNA lagi. High school, belajar DNA lagi. Matric, cakap benda yang sama. So, apa bezanya UPM ni? Sama aja. Apa bezanya FSTM ni? Sama aja. What do you think? What can you relate? Come on, just throw some ideas. It's fine.
Is it maybe because for like to identification of like allergic materials?
Identification of?
Like stuff people can be allergic to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Allergy. Okay, can you be a little bit more specific? You allergic to something?
I am not exactly, but like a lot of people are allergic to like shellfish.
Yeah, shellfish food, seafood especially. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's because for a certain, I wouldn't say race. For us Malays, Asians, our allergic is not as bad as orang Mak Saleh. We are a bit resistant or resilient. Orang Mak Saleh kadang-kadang diorang ni gluten pun diorang allergic. You know what's gluten? Yeah, kanji, right? They're allergic to that. Kita nasi lemak, pulut, all these high starchy, selamba je kita tiba pagi breakfast, doesn't it? They are Mak Saleh ni, even a small amount of gluten, they'll die. Peanuts, okay, maybe lah, some of it are peanuts. Dorang Mak Saleh is a bit a lot in terms of allergics to this point. When it comes to the interactions of your DNAs and allergic, when we talk about allergicity, I'm not expert with one of my colleagues are. So is to talk about the interaction of protein, interaction with toxicity or protein. Some protein is being recognized by our immune system. You know how allergic works? Allergic is not supposed to kill you, but it's just your response telling that it's a foreign body in yourself. That some people have a little bit sensitive of your IgG, your immune system. So they release a certain response. That response can be anything. From sometimes it's non-asymptomatic. There's no symptom at all. Sometimes it can be severe up until you can. I mean your I call it nasal pharynges get inflamed or bengkak so bad you couldn't breathe. Your eyes get swollen. My wife, she allergic to a certain antibiotic. The moment she had allergic, her eyes are bengkak, like a tumbuk. Like some people has allergic like rashes. Yeah. Rash is the last thing. Some people, some babies, baby, they have eczema, merah-merah tu, right? Because their immune system is still is not as good. Okay, talking about how DNA structures look like that is because DNA contain genetic material, and not like we said, even me and you, we have that 0.1% differences. That 0.1% differences not only in physical form, but as well as internal form. That is what separate us. Okay, we're talking about different identity, different varieties. Get what I'm saying? Okay, what can you say about varieties having different DNAs based on structures, based on codings? What can you relate?
Not related to food, doctor.
Yeah, of course, we talk about food lah. Let's talk about food.
So like, I think we discussed this in the like last class that like
Yeah.
some DNAs maybe like give different tastes and physical features.
Sorry, come again.
Some of the DNAs make a certain fruit taste different or look different.
Yeah, I think we discussed about it. What else? Let's continue on that. Taste different. What else? Let's continue what we discussed from Mariam punya ideas. Differences.
So like some of the food are like dangerous to humans but can be safe to like animals or something like that.
Sorry, come again, Ilman?
Maybe like she's talking about food safety, right? Mostly, right?
Okay. That doesn't matter as long as it's related a DNA that is related to food. How the structures, the codings within DNA, what relate to any kind of food.
I guess maybe the food safety part of it, like some food seem like safe to consume, but then end up creating a disease like COVID. I think it's about bats, right?
Yeah, we talk about diseases in terms of bats. It's not actually because of food. It's basically it's a crossbreed of flu between different animals. That's what I said lah.
But that
it's not because of the food.
Oh, not because of the eat. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually because of the food is the medium where these two flu are being hybridized. If I'm mistaken, it's the hybridized bats between I'm not sure which flu. Birds can COVID. I'm not sure. I'm not the expert of it. But it's type of flu that is being not modified, that is being randomly mutated. Kind of. Anything about food? Okay, let's talk about varieties. The DNA is about variety of food. What is it? We talk about differences of variety. Let me give you an example. We have green apples, we have red apples. Apples, but different. Taste is different, right? Kind of. Green apple is a bit soury and then a bit slightly bitter compared to red apple that is nice and juicy. Some people like the bitterness taste and soury taste. Some people might like better the sweet taste. So due to definition by DNA structures, not just the structures, the coding within the DNAs, that what defines green apple and red apples. That would create a varieties of different kinds of foods. Right? So it's like looking, if we are all the same, it's like looking to ourselves, talking to ourselves. So what's the fun in it? Right? So what else you can think about? Anything. How do you rate DNAs? Not just the structures. It's just DNA.
Watermelon.
All right, what about watermelon?
We have tembikai susu, tembikai merah dengan rock melon.
Yeah, kind of. Now we have different kinds of melons. In terms of melons family, we call it cantaloupe. Right? Any kinds of melons punya shape, kind of honeydew, rock melon, watermelon. What else melon is there? I don't know, figure it out. We call that cantaloupe. Yeah. that would, because of DNA structures of coding DNAs, yes, it came from the same species, but the differences between the melon that give a different taste, that give the different look, that give the different aroma. All that is just creating a variety for all of us, right? So we don't want, even you, I'm sure you don't eat the same lunch and same dinner. You want to have varieties, right? Takkan hari makan chicken je. I'm sure you all want to have different tastes like fish or seafoods, right? What else? How you want to relate this application?
Doctor,
Yeah.
is it possible to make like allergen food into non-allergy things using DNA application?
Yes, of course, they've done lots of that. That's why some of the food they are making, not just they're getting rid of the gluten, they genetically modify some certain food to be gluten-free. That's possible. Like I said, any application of DNA is endless. That's why they come up with X-Men.
Maybe like creating crabs with no allergen? Maybe.
Crab with no allergen. Yeah, maybe. It's a long shot,
Is it
but
possible?
maybe. Yeah, it's for sure. All you have, in terms of that, all you have to know, what sort of protein, what sort of allergen compound, allergen compound that create the reaction of allergy. If you're able to identify what's your allergens, once you identify allergens, you identify the RNA or rDNA that's responsible to it. Just kill the DNA. Sounds simple lah, but it's a whole lot of work lah. That's the basic whole idea of it. Lagi? Come on.
Doctor,
Mm.
is it the same like there's variety of white potatoes, sweet potatoes, orange potatoes, purple
Sweet
potatoes? Is it like that related to DNA?
Yeah, of course. Any, like I said, any kind
Yeah.
of varieties will lead to any kind of the differences within the DNA, right? So, okay, now I'm asking you. So, what's the important for all of you to learn the kind of basic structures, or you learn about the structures, right? Interactions, how it's being built up, right? So, how do you relate all this information that you learn now? How do you see how do you look into food now? Because now, before this, maybe before you learn about the DNA in food and everything, how I talk to you guys, how I give lecture to you guys, you look food as food, that things that make you just kenyang, full. Knowing the structure of all the DNAs that makes food, how do you look food now? How do you look? Yeah, how do you look towards food now? Does it change its perspective? Do you look in a different way food now? Have you ever wondered why durian has thorns? Why getah produce getah? Why?
Defense mechanism, right? Like you were talking about the last class.
Defense mechanism. Pandai. So why they produce a certain getah in certain fruits? To do what?
To prevent like predators from like.
To prevent, usually not predators, to prevent bugs that eat through them. So they create a getah, this kind of tree create a getah, so that any kind of bugs that come close to them, they wouldn't eat flesh. They just stuck within that sticky getah. Have you wondered why certain food behave a certain way? Kenapa rambutan ada bulu-bulu? Kenapa tak ada? Kenapa bulu tu? Perlu ke wujud bulu tu? Do you look food the same thing now? Okay, how do you look food now? Knowing that, oh, ada DNA that's controlling every single thing of them. Because nothing happened randomly. All happened for a reason.
I think like most of the foods are like they develop like the thorns and stuff just based on their environment, like the way they suit the environment, I guess.
Yeah. Due to that, what they call adaptive survivability. They have to mod themselves. Same as you are. If I were to throw you in a camp, all right, I'll throw you in, like I said, in a jungle. By hook or by crook, you want to survive. Nak balik jumpa girlfriend, doesn't it? Balik jumpa boyfriend. Nak kena juga survive camp ni. Gila, tak survive. Tak jumpa girlfriend and boyfriend. Of course, say your parents lah. That's very realistically. Not your boyfriend, your parents. Okay? Nak, you have to survive. So what do you do to survive? Anything, doesn't it? Anything that can make you survive. From scavenging foods, finding your own water, climbing trees, make your own house, make keep yourself warm. All this is just for you to adapt. In order for you to survive, you have to adapt, right? Before you go into this camp, you are clueless. You don't know what to expect. You don't know how to survive. But after you keluar dari jungle, hebat. Campaklah ke mana gunung pun, tak ada hal lah akan survive. Right? That's called adaptive survivability. All that is related to your DNA. I mean, of course, it's experience, but for organisms, that is just years and years or generations of food that is improved every single time. That makes them them. Like I said, what makes a banana a banana? What makes a durian a durian? Okay. Same if for you guys, you have to learn before you understand more about biochemistry. Like any of us, before you learn how to run, you have to learn how to walk. Before you learn how to walk, you have to learn how to crawl. Right? Makes sense? So you have to understand the basic understanding how enzyme works before you understand how enzyme work or the reaction with biochemistry within a food itself, how the reaction goes. You have to understand the very basic understanding, which is the DNAs. How the DNA gives reflection to a certain enzyme and how the enzyme works. Okay, like I'm sure Dr. Nazim explained, enzyme work in a very, very specific way. Any small changes, it just changes every single thing. Right? All the structures of codings within the DNAs, it would reflect into enzyme. So you have to understand the structure first, how it's being made up. Because all this information is being made up, it makes you you. One small change within you, it might change the whole perspective. A small changes of your eyes, okay, instead of a color brown, one small gene tukar, oh jadi biru, lawa mata you. Very nice. Cantik dah. Tukar satu je. Katakanlah, just example, okay, don't go Google and then change your eyes color based on your genes pula. If you know how, if you Google and you find out how to do it, just let me know. I'll probably want to change my eyes too. Saya pakai contact lens dah. All right. Any more ideas? So, lagi, what do you learn about DNA structures? The basics. How do you relate with food? How is it going to help you look food in? How are you going to help you look food in a different way? Now you try to look because you're sorry. Some of you is from Faculty of Science, right? Okay, maybe not food. How you look into not just food but chemical reactions, especially in living organism. How you look things now? It's probably gonna be different, doesn't it? How different? Okay, katakanlah macam ni. Katakanlah before ni you makan je. Nasi you makan, ikan you makan, tak ada ikan tak apa, maybe makan ayam. You don't understand how it works and why it works. Or you know, you're just growing up. But when you learn, okay, chicken is high in protein. It gives you much more protein, but low in fat. Meat, yes, it's high in protein, but at the same time it has fat. For fish, have different kind of fats, which is healthy fat, fish oil. If maybe it helps you to have a better, what I call that, growth, a better development of your brain. So knowing all this combination, would you choose to have a better food? Macam hari makan burger. All you know, makan burger tak apa, janji kenyang. Aku besar je, right? Now that you know what goes, orang kata, you are what you eat. And I believe that kind of saying, you are what you eat. So understanding how food relates to your growth, would you choose a better food? Right? Wouldn't choose burger. Memang makan burger tu kenyang. Sausage, McD every day. Makanlah McD sampai you mati. Memang kenyang. Just how you're gonna, is how you're gonna grow. If you choose to have a better food, then choose a better food. Maybe you get, okay, makan, if you want to do a comparison between these two, seorang makan burger, seorang ni betul-betul control diet, not like control diet. When I say diet, it's not diet kurus ya. In the terms of diet for food studies, for nutritionists, diet is not, oh, aku diet lah. Bukan diet tu kurangkan makan. Diet is just a simple, balanced kind of food. You have rice, you have veggies, you have proteins, carb, fats, and proteins. Okay. So the other one is on a balanced good diet. The other one is just eat burgers, fast food every single day. What do you think happen in the next 5 years? Who's gonna be more handsome?
They will die.
The
Who
one that
die?
has a
Which one
better
die?
diet.
No one has to.
The one that is McDonald. I don't say kejam sangat korang. You don't be too cruel lah. That person won't die. I probably won't die. 5 years is not long enough, I suppose. But maybe it's got, I don't know, because this is fast food. Okay, fast food is just so bad. Okay, sama juga. If you want to talk about calories, okay, if you want to talk about food in terms of food calories, yeah, on one hand, it's on this hand, you have jelly beans that have calories of 1,000 calories or let's say 1,000 calories. The other hands, 1,000 calories juga, but it's rice, veggie, and fish. Same, both give you the same energy, but in different kind of food, type of food. Right? If you talk about calories, sama je, dua-dua bagi energy. But which one did you choose?
The one with more nutrients.
The one more nutrients.
The balanced diet.
The balanced diet, correct. So now you understand how function of the food works, you would choose better. It's now once you understand the basic nutrients of food, you understand how food works. You start to take care of everybody. Same as what you call that basic understandings of DNA. Once you understand how it works, then you can move on to the next phase. Make sense? Okay, any more questions?
Doktor, saya nak
Yes.
tanya doktor.
Boleh.
If burger tu unhealthy kan doktor, kan burger tu dari roti. Kan roti tu healthy.
Okay.
Sayur tu pun healthy.
Okay.
Daging okay. In case kalau daging kita pakai daging sendirilah kan. Daging tu pun healthy. Kenapa bila dia campur dia jadi unhealthy pula doktor?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Kenapa burger tak healthy? It's not, I'm saying burger is not healthy. If you are the one that make the burgers, use meat, okay, memang is a very, very healthy meat. Ada lettuce, ada tomatoes with sauce burger, that is fine. The one that's fine. You know how burger is being made? For McDonald's.
Minced meat, yeah, they just put in everything.
It's not minced meat. If I cakap he make his own burger, it's from you mincing your what call that? You mince your own, yeah. You grind your own, you stock your own burgers based on like a piece of like wagyu, like say wagyu, the most expensive meat, or a very lean meat. Lean meat is meat only without low amount of fat. Yeah, lean meat. Okay, that one's fine, Faris. You can have that the rest of your life if you wanted to. The one is unhealthy because commonly burgers right, this processed food of burgers, sausages, nuggets, they are not from 100% pure meat. It's a combination of, it's actually burgers is actually comes from practically a waste. Did you know how burger is being made? I'm not talking about McDonald's is even worse. Okay, kalau korang pernah tengok, if orang buat steak, ya, if you makan steak atas meja tu, actually orang dah macam potong cantik to make one piece of steaks. Okay, before it become one piece of steaks, they cut all the meat streaming, ligaments, meat yang ada lots of fats, dia buang tu and put it aside. Nanti try Google meat trimmings. Let me put in your chat, meat trimmings. Or you can just Google how burgers are being made. Meat trimmings. All these meat trimmings okay, before this, they just throw it away. And one genius guy found out, what if we turn this thing to something? So they take all these meat trimmings, okay, ligaments, all these excess fats, with a little bit meat, they grind it. They grind it, campur dengan starch, potato, campur dengan starch, tepung, flavorings, they make into a patty. That's how burgers, sausages is being made. Burgers is just called a processed food. The price of each patty is actually sumpah very, very cheap. That's how McDonald's can make billions of dollars. They charge you for Big Mac how much? $12, right? You know how much it's costing? I reckon it's gonna be probably less than $2, 2 ringgit for the meat only. Or probably less because they're making bundles. Try to Google Jamie Oliver, not Jamie Oliver. Yeah, Jamie Oliver won court case with McDonald's, pink slime. Just Google McDonald's pink slime in YouTube. You found out about it. Before this, McDonald's is being sued because they produce a pink slime, a burger. This is a very interesting thing to talk about. Google lah. The one you suka sangat makan McDonald's kan, you find out. You're probably not going to eat burgers from McDonald's. Mungkin sekali boleh lah, every now and then. But once you find out how the burgers at McDonald's are being made, you'll be surprised. As for Farid's question, yes, Farid, kalau you boleh buat your own burger with roti, lettuce, tomatoes and everything, by all means, Farid, makanlah sampai you dah tua nanti. Alright? Nanti if we have the time, we're going to talk about this later. Okay? Any more questions? Anyone, anything you want to ask me before we
Doctor,
for the day? And then you all can have your lunch. Yeah,
Doctor. Is DNA used in fruit flavoring?
If DNA is used in fruit flavoring, at the moment I doubtly so, because it's just too complex to use DNA to create a certain aromas. Because DNA ni, yeah, it gives you a certain aroma because you know how aroma and taste comes from, especially aroma. It comes from a complex of combination of chemicals, either chemicals or from macro components of your fats and your protein. When it comes to macro component like your food, carbohydrates, fats and protein and fat are those that relates to aroma. But not only that, there's chemicals within fruits or within fruits that give a certain aroma to your bananas, to your mangoes, to your betet, and all that kind of foods. But as for now, I'm not sure whether they use DNA in food flavoring. I doubtly so, because most of food flavoring they use much more cheaper form, which is much related to chemicals, synthetics. If you want it, yes, you can use DNA, but it's just too complex and too laborious, I suppose. But yeah, I've seen some studies whereby they alter a certain DNAs within a food that can give you a certain different aroma taste. I've seen that. But in terms of enhanced food flavorings like addition, as for now, a lot of people they use chemicals, tambahan, enhancers. Right, that's a good one. Lagi, any more? Kenapa Nuraina? Marah adik ke? Cak makan je adik tu Nuraina. It's okay if any of your siblings or parents kacau, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Some people I think ada cats masuk di video camera. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, any more questions? Janganlah marah adik tu Nuraina ke, cak makan je adik tu. Geramnya aku budak ni masuk keluar. I have my sons to do that all the time. So, any questions? Balkis, konten apa tu? No questions, yeah? If no question, then we continue our discussion next class, yeah? So, okay, guys, for boys lah, and if you guys have issues having class at 12:30, the one yang perlis yang tak ada PKB, just let Rachel know. Rachel will let me know. Then we change back to 4 to 5. If at this moment, tak boleh sembahyang Jumaat, we just continue at same time lah, 12:30. So maybe you can't say it now, just convey it to Rachel and Rachel will talk to me. Okay? If there's no objection, is it okay we continue our class same time 12:30 from now on? For the next 3 weeks lah, And then with Dr. Hafiz, and you discuss with him back. Yeah, Rachel, I'll pass to him his number later. So no questions, yeah. If no questions, please by all means go have your lunch and you can have the rest of your day. And have a good weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Doctor.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Bye.